Hey Daydreamers, it's Alex, and today I'm bringing you my favourite YALC books. So for those of you who don't know, YALC is a 3-day young adult literature convention, and if we didn't have COVID, it would have started the day I'm filming this, which is Friday, and I would have been there, and I'm very sad that it's not happening. YALC normally runs for 3 days, so it would have gone Friday to Sunday. And since it's not happening this year and I can't be there this year, I thought I would instead share with you my favourite YALC books. So by this I mean books that have been featured at YALC. The author was a featured author at YALC. They came and signed books at some point over the weekend. That's what I mean by a YALC book. And I thought that I would pull my YALC book recommendations from my YALC tote bag, which is covered in pins that I got at YALC. So I've only picked UK YALC authors. Authors from other countries do attend, but it is mostly UK authors. So the first book out of the YALC bag is Priory of the Orange Tree. So I met Samantha Shannon at last year's YALC. We had to queue to get a ticket because they started implementing a ticket system, so the queues didn't get too long. And me and my boyfriend both went up to speak to Samantha Shannon together and get our books signed together. And as a result, I think we confused her a little bit, and she ended up signing my boyfriend's book to me and then having to write "and Dan" afterwards. And we're now very fond of Dan's copy of this book. And I really love this book. It is a fantasy novel in a world with dragons, and there are 2 types of dragons, Eastern dragons and Western dragons, I'm pretty sure. And I just love this book so much. You should definitely read it. Don't let the size intimidate you. It is so good, and it took me 2 weeks to read, and there wasn't a single point during that 2 weeks where I got bored, so I definitely think that you should read this, even if you're a bit scared. If you're interested, read it. The next book from the YALC bag is Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne. Holly Bourne is one of my favourite UK YA authors. I think I've met her at a few YALCs now. I have almost all of my Holly Bourne books signed. You can see them just there, that stack. I think I have almost all of them signed. I love her so much. She is so lovely. And this is the first book in her trilogy, which looks a lot at mental health and also feminism, and it's really good. So I have a very soft spot for this series, but also all of Holly Bourne's books. The next book from the YALC bag is Clean by Junie Dawson. I think I got this one signed not at last year's YALC, but the year before, and I remember that during YALC I was right at the end of a book, and so I finished that and I didn't know what to start next, and all I had on me were the books that I was going to get signed, and so I picked up this one and read it during the YALC weekend, and I absolutely loved it. Juno is another author I've met at multiple YALCs, and she is also lovely, and I just love meeting her so much, and I really hope that all of these authors will be back at next year's YALC so I can meet them again. The next book in the YALC bag, I don't think there's 2 anymore, maybe 3 more, and the next book is The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. We were going to meet Lauren James at last year's YALC, but she had to cancel last minute because I think her dog had to go to hospital, or the vet, obviously. But once again, met her a few times. I love her so much. Her books are amazing. If you love sci-fi books, that's what Lauren James writes, so definitely check her out. This one is about a girl on a spaceship and all of the crew is dead. She's the only girl living, and they're on this spaceship to find or to go colonize a new planet, I think. Yeah. It's a very good book, and I was disappointed not to meet her last year, but obviously I understood. and I'm disappointed not to meet her again this year. Once again though, I do understand why they've cancelled YALC, so hopefully I can meet her next year. Fingers crossed. Okay, the next book in the YALC bag. Let's see what it is. We have We Are Blood and Thunder by Kasia Lupo. She is another author that I met with my boyfriend. We both went off at the same time, and we both recently read this book. We read it to each other over Skype during lockdown, so it's a bit special to us now. It helped us kind of stay connected during lockdown when we couldn't see each other because we don't live together. I've only met Kasia once, and that was at YALC when I got this signed, and I'm really hoping to meet her again. Her new book is either just come out or is just coming out, and I'm hoping one day to get that one signed, maybe at next year's YALC. Fingers crossed. And now we're at the last book in the YALC bag, and that book is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Once again, another author I adore. She is so lovely. At last year's YALC, her queue and like the demand for people getting their book signed by her was so long, and she also took the time to talk to everyone. So most authors have like a 2-hour slot that they sign in at YALC, and she stayed so long past that slot to get through everyone, and it was just so lovely. Me and my friends I think we were people who were after the 2 hours, so we were very grateful that she stayed. And Radio Silence is my favourite book of hers so far, but all of her books are amazing, and her graphic novel series Heartstopper is the cutest thing ever. Check them all out. Highly recommend. So those are my favourite YALC books. Let me know if you've been to YALC, what your favourite thing is about YALC, if you miss it this year. I'm sure you do. We all miss it. And if you're planning on going to YALC next year, if it's back, hopefully it's back. If it is, I will definitely 100% be going. And I'm so sad not to be there this weekend, but like I say, I do understand. I just miss everything, like being surrounded by book lovers and books, and kind of miss being in London, even though I'm not the biggest fan of London. So that's it from me today. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Keep an eye out for Beth's video on Wednesday, and I will see you next time. Bye!